Oh, hello there. Hang on a second. There we go. Keep telling you I'm doing a professional job here. G'day, everyone. Thanks for being here. Sorry about the technical issues I had before, but every time I hit the stream button, it'd get in about 10 seconds and then it would give me an error message that I hadn't had before to say that couldn't establish a connection. So, bit of thanks, mate. Thanks, Dan, for that. It's a bit of the old iPad magic there in the iMovie thing to put that together, and you just throw in whatever you want, clips, photos, whatever. Oh, mate, it's all good. It's all a work in progress. I'm no professional, even though I try and make it look professional. Yeah. So anyway, had a few issues. Had to reset the stream and just go for it again. So I'm sure a heap of people are on the other page or the other stream waiting for it to start or something like that. But no, it's all good. So we're going to just give a bit of a roll call here of everyone in. So Dan Shed, welcome everyone. Welcome Dan, thanks for being here. Stylesy, Becky's Fishing Adventures, Brad Strung Out, G from Funk and Hungry, and who else we got in here? I'm sure we got a couple other people. I think my mum and dad might be watching. Who else we got here? And yeah, that's sort of it at the moment. The rest will probably come in later. I thought maybe Emma might be in here, but I haven't seen Emma come in yet. I was hoping that she'd have some good news to share with everyone. So, but anyway, we'll wait and see what happens. We'll see. Thanks everyone for joining us. Tuesday night, going live again from the shed. We're going to be talking about the steamroller. Well, let's talk about what's happened recently. If you've been following the channel, I've put up a few videos. We've had a fair bit of stuff sandblasted. That's sort of going to be the running course at the moment. I've got the opportunity to get the sandblasting done, so I'm taking advantage of it. Oh, okay. Righto, Dan. Right, you and I both know what we're talking about. Then I hope for her sake that it comes through, because that would just be absolutely tremendous. Anyway, we won't dwell on that, because most of the other people don't know what we're talking about. But something exciting, that's for sure. Yeah, so sandblasting has been the name of the game in the last week or so. Yeah. Hang on, I'll get this up from yeah, because I painted my fishing holes and just trusted straight away. Oh, righto. Okay. Yeah. These parts for the sandblaster have been sandblasted back to bare metal, and because it's done in industrial settings, so they've got a 1-inch nozzle or something like that, and the material is garnet. I think the medium is garnet, is what they're using, and it actually stays pretty clean for a while. Well, the other thing is too, we haven't had any rain, no moisture, very little moisture in the air. Winter time here, obviously. So, well, not obvious to some people. Like if you're in North America, it's summertime over there. But here it's winter and it's dry right here in my part of the world in southeast Queensland. So you do get a little bit of surface rust on it. And most of the stuff I'm doing is cast steel at the moment. Yeah, Brad, you're probably right about that. Primer over rust probably won't work. Becky, what is it that you're trying to paint? What your fishing rods? But do you know what it's made of? Is it stainless steel, or is it just some sort of mild steel or something like that? You might have to, depending on what it is, you might have to get it right back to bare metal. There's a couple of options. You could do an acid dip, get it right back. You might be able to get it sandblasted or soda blasting. That's a popular thing for fairly delicate materials. And then coat it once it's been blasted, acid dipped, or whatever your situation is. You could even just try good old grease, WD-40, penetrol, or some sort of sticky adhesive. Yeah, right, okay. Steel dropper is probably just powder coated steel, so clean the steel and then prime it. Yeah, you're right, Brad. Absolutely right, mate. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, so different steels, and but what you're exposed to, the salt water, and that will require different situations. Have a look at what other people are doing with the same sort of gear. You may find some help online. Somebody might have YouTube's always a good thing. Have a look on YouTube. I'm sure somebody's got a suggestion out there or an idea, like Brad's mentioned. So I'll just pop that on. There's powder coated steel. So yeah, it's probably nothing special either. But anyway, getting back to things happening in the shed here. The shed behind us that you can see out there is the outside on the cladding side of things is done, finally. It took a bit longer than what we were hoping for, but it is done now. So what's happening now is the inside fit out. Just wait for that car to go by. Excuse me. The inside fit out, so that's, framing. We got a tiler coming. We've had a quote on that. We've got a plumber coming in. We've had a quote on that to hook up water and sewage because there's a toilet in there. We've got a plasterer coming, so there's going to be some plastering on the roof. So still a fair bit to go before we can move my wife back into her shed. And it'll be going on 12 months, almost 12 months by the time we get her back in there. It's been a long time, and it's been a little bit frustrating. It's been difficult on her because of what we've had to do to still make things happen. And the laundry is also going to be in there too. So it's still a work in progress. The other good news is the mini excavator is up and running. I don't think I've put a video up about that yet. Maybe I have. I'll soon, or maybe I have. The part came in finally, put it all back together, and away she went, just good as new. Really happy about that. So now I've got to dig a trench for the plumber so we can hook up the wastewater to the current existing sewage pipes and so on. So mini excavator will be doing a bit of work soon. That'll be good. Yes, G, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. If you do like what you're seeing on the channel, please give us a like. Probably doesn't do much for a small channel like me, but every little bit helps and gives me a bit of a boost too. So thank you very much. Getting back onto so that's the mini excavator, that's up and running. Shed is happening. There's still a bunch more work to do here at home. So in between my work and various other contractors coming in, it's quite the juggling exercise, especially as my wife is handling a lot of that, and that can be quite taxing on her at times. So progress is happening, and progress is happening also on the roller. There's a club member who does machining at home, very much like I've got here, and I've given him the cylinder drains for the steam roller. Now, The cylinder drains get mounted on the cylinders, and they let out any excess water and steam out of the cylinders. You can't compress water into a cylinder, so you need a way of getting that out. And basically, it's some fittings with it mounted on the side where the holes are located, and the water can escape out through the drains. And when I get those done and back, I'll do some close-up photos and talk about how they work. But as mentioned before, the things that are happening currently are is the painting of the flywheel, the sandblasting, all that sort of stuff. So I'll bring that in right now, and we'll throw that up. I'll just reduce myself down here, and oh, there we go. Have a look at that. So the flywheel sitting on the ground there, it's not the clearest shot, unfortunately. It's a little bit overexposed. It's sort of sitting straight underneath the under the light there in the shed. Excuse me. So the flywheel's been painted, undercoated. So I'll now have to pick that up and stick it in the corner of the shed, probably behind the boiler, which is just in front of the front rolls there. That's the front part of the yeah, Dan. That's something I don't want to do, frankly. I've seen that happen in videos. Yeah, and I'd rather not do that. Thanks. I'll be right. Not a good exercise to do. So the front rolls will take their turn very soon to get dismantled, and we'll check out, see what's going on there. The problem, not it's a big issue, but with this far down, the let's just change views here. Right, let's get me on screen. The problem we're getting when we lift up the the front, sorry, not the rear, the front rolls with the forklift, the front rolls pivot nicely like this. So there's probably quite a bit of wear in the bearings or on the shaft itself on the front rolls. So that's something to be worked on. Yeah, Dan, you're right. It does get a bit ugly, and hopefully I don't want to ever experience that sort of situation. The other view I'll bring in, because we've got options for multiple cameras here, and I'll do that. So we'll swap in. I've got the iPhone set up. So I've got this camera I'm talking on now. I've got this view here, and I can bring them and resize them. I can also swap over to there, to that view as well. So we've got a couple of different options on things. So I can take myself, I can swap things around here. No, we won't do that. We'll do this. We can do that. We can swap things around or minimize things altogether, like so. And the view there is with the iPhone looking down from the forklift, and that's why it's a lot clearer. The aperture on the iPhone is a lot more, better suited to the light. The two other cameras we're using, they're fairly old cameras, so their light sensitiveness is not as good as what the iPhone is, more up-to-date technology, etc., etc. So that's what's happening there. And what I will do is I will take myself out of here. Right, pop myself back in. Sorry, guys. Thanks for the heads up. I was blubbering on there before. Right, as soon as I take my, I know what I've got to do. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you giving me the heads up. I should have known that as soon as I turn myself off. Yeah, I think I'm doing sign language. You're right, Dan. You should be right now, though. Hopefully you can hear me. Everyone can hear me. Give me a yes or no. Hopefully better now. I have no idea. I'll leave that on and I can just stay in the middle. Well, yes, hey, thank you, G. Thanks, Funkin' Hungry, for that. Now, some of these guys in this chat, I hook up with, as in terms of we do a live stream on different channels, usually on a Saturday night, and it's totally unrelated to steamrollers. However, these guys who do come over and support me, like Funkin' Hungry, Stylesy, Brad Strung Out, a few others that I may not have mentioned, I have introduced them to the world of steamrollers and traction engines and things like that. So these guys are getting an education on what it's like. Now, I'm doing a total rebuild on this steamroller. When I first got it, it was in one piece. You would have seen that in the videos. And I thought, of course, that, I'll have this done and up and running in about 12 months or something like that. Little did I know that the further I went into it, the more I found, so you had to, you just sort of keep going and you find more things and you get a little bit disappointed. And lucky enough, I'm involved with a good club, which has a number of steam traction engines, steam equipment and so on. And that's the Queensland Steam and Vintage Machinery Society at Petrie. And got some good members who are very helpful, very knowledgeable, and it really has helped the restoration here, as well as with my family. You'll see photos of my family members in here, especially my wife. She's been very supportive of this project, and she'll often come and help me out when needed. I get her to drive the forklift and hold things and clean things and so on. So it's very much appreciated. I'm just going to get a scraper and get into those corners. You would have seen before the bench. The bench is a work in progress. I'm supposed to be, having all my tools nicely arranged and hung up there. And I haven't got back onto that as yet. It's quite easy not to get, well, it is quite easy to get distracted and watch lots of videos on YouTube. Or unfortunately, work gets in the way. I work a 10-hour day, and that sort of slows things down a bit. But however, my job has many advantages that a lot of people probably don't. In terms of what I do with work and what I can get done through work. So I'm just going to check the chat again. Where are we? Dan says, sorry. Now I'm just playing catch up. Yeah, right. Yeah, Brad, no worries. Go get smokes. Pretty good if you do. Have a good laugh. Joint stream. Yes, we do, G. We do have a good laugh. All right, Brad. I'm glad you're here, mate. Yeah, mate. Yep, Brad Strung Out. Let's take notes. Thank you. I should put some of those comments up on screen. But anyway, now I live in a fairly busy area. The local hospital is just around the corner from me. So often we'll get sirens going. Railway line's not far away, and being wintertime, the sound just really travels. Showgrounds are not far away, so if something's happening at the showgrounds, we'll get that. And has it just gone off? Has it? I think it has. I think my other camera has gone off. Yeah, right. I'll just hit the button again and get that going. I don't know why it keeps doing it, because it's plugged in. I keep saying I'm going to do this each time, but I never seem to do. Splat. Yeah, if there's a. Yeah, that's a good idea. Gee, we could run a few people over. Splat. That's exactly right. Haven't seen Peter come in the chat. Peter's on Discord and Emma's live streams usually. He usually comes in and has a chat as well, but he's not here. I don't know, maybe something's going on with his, maybe he's got some internet issues or something like that, which is what we were having before. So this bearing's cleaned up pretty well. It's come out of the differential, which, like I said, is currently away getting sandblasted. The differential itself is pretty good, just very heavily covered in 95 years of grease, grime and whatever else it's got. However, the planetary gears, or the spider gears as people call them, are well worn. They need to come out and get overhauled. The shaft is pretty loose, or whatever the materials they're made out of. So, and that's not an uncommon thing with the Fowler roller. And this is the bearing out of the differential. It tapped out very easily, and I was talking to another owner of a Fowler steamroller who's currently restoring it, and he said he found the same. His bearing like this came out real easy. It just tapped out. There's very little resistance there. The internal bore, I'm going to have to check. I'm pretty sure, I can't say for sure, but I think this may be the original one. But I don't know. It could have been replaced at some time. There's a few burrs on here, so I might actually just put this in the lathe and just run the file over it and take the burrs off. I'll come back to the to that gear in it just in a sec, and I'll flick the camera around and set up. So we've got a number of bits and pieces going on here with this. It probably needs sandblasting again because they've missed quite a few bits, and I just want to get it really cleaned up. You can still, when you look at it closely, you can still see lathe tool marks from where it was machined. There's no cracking in the webs here or anything like that. There's a couple of flaws on the internal bore of the casting. However, that's not going to affect anything. The keys are still there. So everything's looking pretty good on this. There's not a lot of wear on the teeth at all. There is some wear, nothing ridiculous. So there's no need to do anything with these except just get them cleaned up. We're this far down, just get them cleaned up nicely, and I'll give them a coat of paint just to keep the rust off them, and then they can go in the corner until we're ready to fit them back on. Righto, let's just check. I'll just jump down here and check the chat. We can. Oh, hello, Emma. Good to see you here. You're late. That's all right. You need to need to write a letter of apology, you know, for being late. But anyway, we'll let it slip this time. Yeah, Brad, mate, if you want to go down that road, there is quite a lot of models available, actually, in all shapes and sizes. You can shoot, you know, have a budget or whatever, and start with a few $100s and go from there. Bit of fun, but the full size things are, you know, a lot more fun. Yeah, there are people doing kits. Oh, actually, no. The toy company, Mamod or Willesco, both European companies, do make toy versions. Joanne Yoda Girl, thank you very much for being here. Just something to say, hey, yeah, thank you very much. You're up very early or late, depending. Joanne's over in good old US of A. Thanks for being here. And who else we had? Yeah, Emma's marked off. Dan's got a Mamod he can buy. No, you're right, Dan. They're getting damned expensive. There's a damn one, but that's right. Yeah, that'd be a bit of a project. I reckon wouldn't take much to get it going. 5:30 in the morning. You're up early, Joanne. You off to work, or just you're an early bird? So there we go. There you go. 5:32, 5:33 now in the good old US of A and Joanne's part. Yeah, make a still, eh? Yeah, crazy. Yeah, well, that's a fairly 1960. Well, that's not far behind this thing. It's not this thing. Oh my God, Joanne, you haven't been to bed yet. Oh, you're a night owl. All right. Well, we're going to we'll flick this around. We're going to flick cameras here. There's another view. No, righto. I'll take that off. Throw that one back up. I won't take. I'll change the camera around on the lathe so we can see what we're doing on the lathe. I'll get that set up. My ugly mug will be in the way. And there we go. Hang on. This is hopefully no one gets motion sick. There we go. That looks pretty darn good. Righto, so we'll swap views around again. Here we go. We're going to be, and I'll probably just zoom out a bit. Yeah, there we go. That's better. That is better. I better put my eyes on. Hey, here's Peter. Peter, what's your excuse? You're late tonight, mate. But anyway, we mark you off on the roll call. You're here. Right. Now, there we go. Yeah, there's a few. I'm going to have to do this a couple of. I'll have to just. I'll run the file across there just on a slow speed. Good old lathe file. Let's have a look at that. Would help if I. Whoa, that's a bit fast. Even still, go down to 120 RPM. Now, it's obviously going to look faster on the lathe, on the screen, than what it's actually going. Probably, yeah, there we go, that's nice. Right, I'll turn that around now. Now, right, let's see what's happening in the chat here. Yeah, safety goggles. Yeah, I've got them on. Look, here they are. Safety goggles. They're called glasses. For what I probably should put something on, but anyway, at least I'm not actually machining anything, throwing swarf all over the place. It's crazy when you see people on YouTube. They, they'll get a grinder out and they'll start grinding with no eye protection whatsoever. I'm not. Yeah, I don't do that sort of stuff. I'm going to get the deburring tool and take the burrs. It's a bit blunt. Just take the burrs off. It's always just a good habit to take any burrs off. Just so that there's no sharp edges that you don't run your hand on or cut yourself on. It's just a very good habit to get into. It's one thing that was reinforced into me during my apprenticeship at college. In fact, the teacher would give you more marks for an uncompleted. He would give you more marks for an uncompleted job that had all the burrs taken off it than a completed job with burrs on it. So, and that has stuck with me ever since. So it's just a good habit to get into. Now, the other thing is the lathe can't start because the lid is open here and it cuts out the power circuit. Even if I turn the lever on, it won't start. Right. Back in its drawer, burrs are taken off. Pretty happy with that. I'm not going to do anything to the bore or anything like that, or the internal diameter. I'm going to have to double check and see where this, check the shaft that it goes onto and make sure that, everything's hunky-dory. And no, that's not that one. Right, moving on. We're going to flick back to the main screen. I'm going to sit here and just chat. And I might even put the link in for anyone who wants to come in and have a chat and maybe ask some questions and we talk. I'm going all right here. So I'll just play catch up in the swings things around here. I'll play catch up in the chat here. Oh, gee, that's not good, man. Don't grow without protection. Oh, silly. Yeah, right. Fair enough. All right. Well, Peter, you sleeping, Peter? I'm just playing a bit of catch up in the chat here. But yeah, so that's where we're up to. Just to recap, things are happening. Sandblasting, things are getting machined, all that sort of stuff. There's still more work to go, obviously, on the there we go, on the front rolls. Here we go. On the front rolls in the right-hand corner there, they got to be worked on. That'll be next week, maybe. Get a bit of other stuff out the way. There's still lots to go. Even though, excuse me, I've got a cupboard full of stuff that's ready to go, that's been cleaned up as we've taken it off. I've still got some things on a shelf over in the corner. Let's go back there. No, I can't show it. I've got another shelf where I've got parts that need to be worked on, like the trunk guides and so on. They need some work done, as in strip down, clean up, all that sort of stuff. Probably won't get those sandblasted. I might just put, I'll just use the paint stripper, the gel paint stripper, and get that sorted out that way. But that's, hang on. That's probably a while away because I don't need them straight away. There's plenty of other stuff to work on in the meantime. And like I said, we've been having some really good weather here. So I'm getting a lot of stuff sandblasted. I'm trying not to overdo the sandblasting because I'm getting a really good deal with the sandblasting. So let's not, stretch the friendship too far. Just do it sort of when it can be fitted in without having any problems. And so that's where we're at. 45 minutes. We've been trucking along for 45 minutes. So what I will do, I'll put the link in the chat if anybody would like to come and have a chat on screen. But please be wearing clothes, be respectful, all that sort of thing. I will make sure all that sort of thing is there before anyone comes up. But anyway, if you got any questions, you can stick them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. Holy crap. What else? Well, work gets in the way, unfortunately, but work you earn money to pay the bills, to get the hobby done and keep furthering on, and so on and so forth. So it's like everything, a work in progress. There's many aspects to this restoration, and I'm in no means an expert, but I'm just enjoying sharing what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And if it helps some people out, then well and good. It has helped people out because I've reached out to other people here in Australia and also overseas. They've helped me out. There's lots of bits and pieces smaller bits and pieces I need to make. And seeing what other people do with their engines or their restorations is always encouragement to keep doing, or see what ideas they have, how they approach a particular subject or a task at hand. That's out of the differential, Emma. Yeah, that came out of the differential. Dan in Melbourne, it came out quite easily, actually. As I was saying before, the differential is out getting sandblasted. Well, actually, I took it to work first to see if I could clean it with the hot water gurney gun at work, and it did remove some of it, but it wasn't that successful. So I'm going to go get it sandblasted and get it sorted out, and I'll get those planetary gears out, or the spider gears out, and look at them, do something with them, because there's a lot of slop in those, a hell of a lot of slop. Limits and restrictions. Sorry, Pete, not sort of getting what you're doing, what you're referring to. Can you elaborate a bit more for us? Oh my God. Yeah, no, Brad, I don't, there's plenty of guys at work that do that sort of stuff. No, it just doesn't interest me whatsoever. Costs too much money anyway. It's crazy. Bad for the environment, bad for yourself. Seriously, give it up. Anyway, but personal preference. Oh, righto, Pete. Okay, no worries, mate. Yeah, of course. I should have realised. It's all good. It's all good. Now, what can I... Right, just bear with me for a second, folks. And why? Now, that's me live. That's live. Right. So for those of you who may have missed it, I'm going to show the video of the flywheel, and just in case anyone missed it, so we'll get an extra view of that, and then we'll come back. And we'll go full screen on that. Welcome back, guys and girls. Here we have the flywheel up on the forklift, the adjustable wheel. Oh, shit. Having a close look, this is raw, and giving it a knock. Sounds nice and ringing. And the dog's barking at the other dogs going for a walk out there. The casting itself is pretty nice, especially on this side. And you can see where they machined it. You can still see the lathe tool marks from being machined back when they manufactured it back in 1926. And out to the outer edge, we've got some more machining. Obviously, they only took off what they absolutely have to, and you know, all credit to them. And you can clearly see lathe tool marks, machine marks from the various tooling, especially on this side. You know, there's a few little pits and things like that, but you know, considering when it was made, and you know, it's pretty damn good. So let's go back here. We'll go underneath and have a look. And there's the underneath. Now, my sandblaster, he did miss a few bits, but look, for it's a mate's rates job, so I can't complain, and they're only minor. So I'll give this a bit of prep, get it ready for painting. I'll just put the undercoat on the Dulux metal shield that I use. It's acetone based, it's oil based, acetone based, so it dries real quick. And we'll get a coat of paint on it before it gets too much rust on it. Yeah, pretty impressed with that. Bit more work to do. And while we're at it, we'll go over here to the road spur gears. They've been sandblasted as well. Because of the way they are, there is quite a bit that the sandblaster missed, but he did a really good job. You know, there's 90 odd years of built up grime and grease
that's just, that little mark there is just from the sling I had around it. Hello, baby girl. Here's a old shed dog coming in for a pat and see what's going on. See him down at her level. I've got to watch out for that tail. There is a bit of a flaw in the casting, just there, as you can see, but it's, you know, it obviously hasn't affected it. All in all, it's looking pretty good. There's a bit more to clean up on this, but it's going to be undercover. You're really not going to see it. The gears themselves are in pretty good condition. You know, not a lot of wear, all things considered. There is some wear there, but nothing major. And this will get an undercoat, a bit of a clean up, and go on the corner. Or go somewhere in the shed here. Go over the other side. Yeah, there's still a bit of grime and grease. There's a few little burrs on here, but happy days. If you do like what you're seeing on the channel, please like, share and subscribe. That way you'll stay up to date with new content.
Whoa, well, I don't know who that bloke was on the screen there before, but yeah, he seems to like what we're doing. Anyway, guys, I've been going for 55 minutes. It's getting a bit cool up here. I'm going to wrap it up at that. Thanks, everyone, for being here. We'll do this again some other time next week, by the way. I go every Tuesday. Yeah, no, not quite. Well, there is a zoo not far away from me. I guess you can guess which one it is. Crikey! You know, that little fella's he's a bit angry, but anyway. No, I don't do TikTok, mate. No. 2 degrees. Oh, come on, Dan. Oh my God. Yeah, all right. No, it's not 2 degrees for me. It's probably only about 8 or something like that. Yeah, you know us Queenslanders. We're a bit shy when it comes to the cold weather. You know, so used to the you know, we're so used to the warmer weather. But anyway, thank you everyone for being here. I do. Hang on, I'll just play a bit of catch up. I'm meant to go tonight. Yeah. So thanks everyone. Let's. What am I going to go out with? Yeah, I think I might just go out with the old standard 1 minute outro or whatever. Thank you very much, G, and everyone who's been in here. I keep saying I'm going to get a bit more organised, but I never seem to do. There's still plenty of work to do. And yeah, Pete, you're right. Less than 20 says, yeah, Pete's in up North Queensland, so yeah, it's a bit cold under 20 degrees. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate the support you guys give me and the help. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.